Alright, good morning everyone. So I just wanted to do a quick live stream to follow up about the overclock button for the Mac LC3. I got a request to show off the final version on Reddit, so let's show what we got here. So I currently have the system booted up. My switch is currently in the pushed in version, or pushed in position. So let's see what our Mac is doing in this position. So I have the Apple Personal Diagnostics loaded up on the machine. And we're currently at the overclocked position. I also want to give credit to Steel Joe on Reddit for coming up with the idea that this is actually a turbo button, which is really cool because I'm using a turbo button from an old PC, but knowing back in the day the turbo buttons really just reduced your system or allowed it to run at its normal position. We're actually increasing the speed of this LC3, so it is really a turbo button in this situation. And so this mod basically makes the motherboard think that we're a Performa 460 instead of a LC3. And so you can see that we're running at 33 megahertz. And what I have here is the comparison to a Macintosh LCIII. I'll show you in a second, but you know, the original LC3 in its native state was really comparable in performance to the LCIII. And so you can see we're like 15, 17, 34% faster. With an FPU, we have some things that are like 20% faster. If we look at the benchmark results as I've plotted them here, you can see visually, you know, the beige, or what is this, mauve color is the 25 default speed, and most of the performance was really similar to a LCIII, but when we pop that up, we can see there's a nice little increase. And for, you know, basically free, this mod is really useful. So what I'm going to do is shut down the system and show you the details of what this mod entails. So that's the results of the performance. Let's show you the details. Alright, so shut that off. Alright, so here's the LC3. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay, and so what you can see is, you know, I talked before about resistor 14, and I think it's 74 in the back that we'll see here in a second. And what I've done is just installed a couple wires running off of the two solder pads at position R14. And I also installed some wires running off of the rear position. These wires run up. I installed a couple little pin headers here that allow us to disconnect the system. And really, if you didn't want to have a switch, you could also just do a set of pin headers here and change, put a jumper on these pin headers to change the position. Let's finish disassembling. So again, there's position R14, one wire going to one solder pad, the other one going to the other one. And on the back, we have resistor position R74, again, one wire going to one solder pad, one going to the other. These go up to the jumper pins here that I have installed. so then this ultimately, when it's connected, goes up to this nastily glued in. I use some JB Weld here, and this is just a turbo button from an old AT case. And these buttons are basically just two position switches. When we're looking at these, there's 3 pins that come off of each side of the switch, 1, 2, 3, and then on the other side of the switch there's another 1, 2, 3. The pins over here are independent from the pins on this side, so whatever happens electrically over here is independent from these, and so when the switch is pushed in, two of the the ground is going to be connected, or the common lead is going to be connected to either this side, and when it's pushed in its out position, it would be connected to this one. And the same happens on the other side. It's just that they're two independent sets of leads. And so what I have is the wires connected to 2 of the leads on one side, and the other 2 leads, or the common and the other lead on the other side. And so when the switch is in, it's connecting one side, and when the switch is out, it's connecting the other side. Alright, so let's stick this back together. Take this, push our button. Now it's in the out position, and we'll pick this up, and hopefully it'll be at its slow speed, or the default speed. So I was hoping to do more during Macintosh, but I got sidetracked with a lot of other projects. I have something coming up this afternoon, sort of end Macintosh with a bang. Unfortunately, it's not a project that I'll get done during Macintosh, but I'll be doing some work over the next month with this project, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely get subscribed and see what's going to happen later in the afternoon here. Okay, so booting up our LC3, and now it should be in LC3 mode compared to Performa 460 mode. Also want to give a shout out to the Blue SCSI project, because this thing has been awesome. I just absolutely love the Blue SCSI. Alright, and here you can see now we're detecting the system as a LC3 at 25 megahertz, and we're back to default. And so this is a nice little switch that, if you ever find that the system isn't stable, you can always just switch it off and go back to the default speed, and when the system's all closed up, you can't actually see much of a change. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for checking out this early morning live stream. Good morning, everyone, and be sure to check in this afternoon, because I have something kind of fun planned. All right.